Forget every Disney Plus list you have watched so far, because the platform is either going to rise from its ashes or lose its biggest brands one by one. From Marvel's darkest streets to the hidden underworlds of Star Wars that almost nobody knows, get ready for the return of some of the biggest legends. And there is one project on this list that is so massive, with dragons covering the sky, that it could determine the fate of Disney Plus. If you are ready, we are diving into the 10 biggest projects that could shake Disney Plus to its core. Number 1, The Punisher, One Last Kill. At the top of the list, we have Frank Castle. The Punisher, One Last Kill could be one of Disney Plus's boldest moves on the Marvel side, because Punisher stands in a very different place compared to classic Marvel heroes. In his world, there are no bright costumes, big heroic speeches, or colorful battles. There is loss, anger, crime, and revenge. That is why Frank Castle's return is not just the comeback of a character, but almost like a test of how far Marvel is willing to go with a more mature and darker tone. The biggest question here is this: will Disney Plus really show Punisher as Punisher? Because what makes Frank Castle special is that he never takes half measures. If this special presentation builds the dark streets, brutal conflicts, and the crime world connected to the Daredevil universe correctly, this project could bring Marvel's street-level side back to life. Do you think Punisher should keep his old brutality on Disney Plus, or will Marvel try to make him more suitable for a wider audience? Number 2. X-Men 97 Season 2. The second season of X-Men 97 is currently one of the biggest expectations on Marvel's animation side. The success of the first season showed us this: the audience does not just want nostalgia, they want truly strong character drama and bold storytelling. Mutants are not just heroes with superpowers, they are people who are rejected, feared, misunderstood, and constantly forced to defend themselves. That is why X-Men 97 felt more emotional and sharper than many modern Marvel projects. In the second season, we expect this tension to grow even more. Cyclops' leadership, Jean Grey's complicated situation, Wolverine's anger, Rogue's pain, and Magneto's view of the world could lead to much bigger conflicts. X-Men stories always make us ask this question: is peace still possible, or have some wounds already made war inevitable? If the second season keeps the dark and bold spirit of the first season, it will continue to be one of Disney Plus's strongest Marvel projects. Number 3. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Season 3, the third season of Percy Jackson, could be one of Disney Plus's most important steps on the fantasy side. Because the first season introduced the world, the second season expanded the adventure, but with the third season, the story can now move toward a much more serious point. Percy, Annabeth, and Grover are not just young heroes going on new adventures. They are slowly turning into characters who affect the fate of the mythological world. In this season, bigger prophecies, more dangerous creatures, and the darker sides of Greek mythology could come to the forefront. Percy Jackson's strength is not only in action, it is in friendship, growing up, fear, and the feeling of responsibility. Imagine a scene: Percy in the middle of the sea, facing a mythological threat, with his friends beside him and a destiny much bigger than himself on his shoulders. If Disney Plus captures this feeling correctly, Percy Jackson could turn into a major fantasy brand that lasts for many years. Number 4. Daredevil, Born Again, Season 3. The third season of Daredevil, Born Again, could expand Marvel's darkest and most human side even more. What makes Matt Murdock special is not just his fighting abilities. It is the way he is constantly torn between two lives. During the day, he is a lawyer looking for justice in court, and at night, he is a man fighting crime in the streets of Hell's Kitchen. But the real question in Daredevil stories is always this: where does the line between justice and revenge begin, and where does it end? In the third season, Kingpin's power, the crime balance of New York, and Matt's inner conflict could become even heavier. If the Punisher connections also become stronger, Disney Plus could really get close to that dark street atmosphere from the old Netflix era. Imagine Matt walking alone against the entire criminal underworld in a narrow hallway lit by red lights. That is exactly why we are waiting for Daredevil. Before the big universe connections, we want to watch the war inside the character. Number 5. Eragon, The Inheritance Cycle. Eragon could be one of the biggest escape points Disney Plus can offer to audiences who are tired of Marvel. Because here, there are no superheroes. There are dragons, magic, kingdoms, betrayals, and an epic struggle against a massive empire. The previous movie adaptation was a disappointment for many fans, but the series format could give this universe a second chance. In this story, we will watch Eragon transform from an ordinary young man into a dragon rider. But the real power will not only be in the battles, it will be in the bond he builds with Saphira. Imagine a dragon spreading its wings in the sky, and Eragon feeling the weight of his destiny for the first time. If Disney Plus does not rush this world, Eragon could become not just an adaptation, but the platform's new major fantasy universe. Number 6. Ahsoka, Season 2. The second season of Ahsoka is one of the most important projects on the Star Wars side, one that could affect the future of the galaxy. The first season opened a huge door with Thrawn's return, and now there may be a much more dangerous story behind that door. Because Thrawn is not an ordinary villain, he is a threat who wins, not by shouting, but by thinking. In the Star Wars universe, such a strategic enemy makes the story much more serious. In the new season, the conflict between Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra, and Thrawn could turn into a much bigger war. Also, the mystical side of the Force could come forward even more. Maybe we will see distant galaxies, ancient secrets, and deeper things connected to the Jedi legacy. Do you think Ahsoka Season 2 should be more of a character-focused journey, or should it turn into a major Star Wars war through Thrawn? Number 7. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. The second season of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is the project that brings a little more energy to the pace of the list. Because here, instead of dark streets or massive galactic wars, we have young Peter Parker's process of learning how to become a hero. School, friendships, neighborhood problems, first mistakes, and first major responsibilities. This balance is exactly what makes Spider-Man so lovable. In the second season, Peter may face more villains, but the real issue will be how he grows. On one hand, Peter is trying to live his life like a normal teenager, but on the other hand, when he puts on the mask, he has to carry the safety of the entire neighborhood on his shoulders. If the series keeps this sincere Spider-Man spirit, it can continue to be one of Disney Plus's most loved animated Marvel projects. Number 8. Star Wars, Maul, Shadow Lord, Season 2. The second season of Star Wars, Maul, Shadow Lord, could be one of the darkest Star Wars projects on this list. What makes Maul special is that he is not just a villain. He is a figure who was betrayed, broken, used, but still survived. There is anger inside him, but also a great loneliness and obsession. That is why Maul's stories are never limited to lightsaber fights alone. In the second season, the criminal underworld, underground organizations, and Maul's effort to rebuild his own power could grow even more. And let's be honest, if stronger connections are made with Vader, Palpatine, or the Imperial side in this season, Star Wars fans would truly lose their minds. Imagine Maul igniting his red lightsaber in a dark room, with the shadow of the Empire appearing in front of him. This series could be the door opening into the most dangerous side of Star Wars. Number 9. Wonder Man Season 2. The second season of Wonder Man could carry one of the most different tones in the MCU, because Simon Williams is not just a new superhero in the classic sense. He is also a character living inside Hollywood, fame, behind-the-scenes chaos, and the image of superheroes. That is why Wonder Man has the potential to be a project that can look at the Marvel Universe from the outside and even make fun of it. In the second season, Marvel could expand this idea even more. We could see how heroes turn into brands, not only on the battlefield, but also through media, advertising, fame, and public perception. This project may not be the biggest excitement on the list for everyone, but if it is written correctly, it could become one of the MCU's most original and most different Disney Plus projects. Sometimes what expands a universe is not massive battles, but stories that can look at that universe from a completely different angle. Number 10. VisionQuest. And at the end of the list, we have VisionQuest. I think this project is one of Marvel's most mysterious and most promising Disney Plus works. At the end of WandaVision, White Vision regained his past memories, but then disappeared. Is he truly the old Vision, or just a new being carrying his memories? The greatest strength of VisionQuest lies in this question. This series could explore much heavier themes like artificial intelligence, consciousness, memory, and humanity. Imagine Vision, with his completely white body, searching for traces of his own past inside an abandoned Avengers facility. If the Ultron connection is truly used as well, VisionQuest could become not just a continuation of WandaVision, but a huge story that reopens the technology side of the MCU. Maybe this project will ask us the most disturbing question. If a being feels like a human, but is not human, what truly makes it alive? The next few years for Disney Plus really look like they could be very interesting. From Punisher's dark return to the mysterious story of VisionQuest, from Ahsoka's major Star Wars battles to Eragon's fantasy universe, the platform currently has some very big projects in its hands. So which project on this list are you waiting for the most? Do you think Disney Plus can return to its old hype era, or does it still need to take even bigger risks? Make sure to write it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.